Hello, everyone. My name is Nicholas Ruder. I'm a research advisor with AMO and LAS. I hope everyone out there is staying safe and well. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch this webinar on electronic signatures and how this technology can help you continue the business of your municipality during the current state of emergency. I think it's safe to say that these are unprecedented times. Physical distancing has pushed some of us towards new ways of working, interacting with our colleagues, families, and friends. Working remotely in particular presents us with new challenges, but fortunately we are living in a digital world with solutions literally at our fingertips. And that includes signing documents to ensure that the day-to-day business of your municipality continues as seamlessly as possible. To give you some context on AMO's interest in electronic signatures, a lot of our work over the past few years has been building strategic relationships with partners where there is shared value. Part of that has been identifying proven digital technology and working with partners who can scale their solutions to municipalities of all sizes to improve service delivery, operational efficiencies, and engagement with your residents. These partnerships have formed the basis of what we have been calling our digital toolkit offerings. Back in 2017, AMO's Digital Government Task Force released a report detailing the ways municipal governments can embrace technology to transform administration, operations, and culture within their organizations. Part of that paper explored opportunities for municipalities, including implementing a digital signing platform so you can use electronic signatures on your documents, such as bylaws and contracts. Electronic signatures were seen as a quick win for the management of municipal documents. Using electronic signatures could transform a traditionally burdensome paper process and potentially find members some efficiencies in terms of cost savings and process improvements. So we went to RFP in the fall of 2017 and were pleased that Notarius offered solutions that were not only scalable to municipal governments of all sizes, simple to use, and could help with process efficiencies, but their solutions are legally reliable and secure, which is extremely important for your electronic records management. Notarius has been with us since the beginning of AMO's digital transformation journey. You may have seen them at the AMO conference over the last few years. And we were also successful in test piloting their solutions with 6 of our members of varying sizes and geography. And several of those pilot municipalities continue to use Notarius solutions to great effect. Since the COVID-19 crisis, several of our digital partners are tailoring their solutions to help members continue business operations to the best degree possible. And AMO is pleased that Notarius recognizes these challenges, has put together a package that can help members of all sizes legally and electronically sign their documents going forward. So with that, I'm happy to be joined by Mark St. Jacques, the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Notarius, who will speak to their company's electronic signature solutions and how their new Business 5 promotion can help you. Mark, over to you.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated, Nicholas. We'll be going through sort of the key features and benefits of Consigno Cloud, and among the 4 different types of packages that we have available. As Nicholas was mentioning, we'll focus a lot more on the business package, which is one that has the added benefit of being able to work with a defined number of seats or user accounts, but with an unlimited number of projects. And what we found over the course of the last year is that many municipalities had a very good idea of how many people would actually have a need for using this type of tool, but didn't know how many documents they had. So the Business 5 version was actually released as an answer to medium-sized or small municipalities or AMO members. And of course, we also have a Consigno 20, and we can buy individual seats to it. But one of the key benefits is really the fact that you can produce an unlimited number of signing documents, which makes it a lot easier to deploy and use without having to worry about the actual number of projects and have a better idea of cost certainty. So key benefits of the cloud business version, on the one hand, is that you do have access to custom branding of the email notifications. So somebody receiving an email from with a requirement to sign from the AMO member would actually have their logo available and visible on the email of the recipient. It also works with digital signature certificates if ever there was a need to have documents signed, let's say, by architects in Ontario or other professionals that are using digital signatures. We also have the ability to do batch projects. We've had a lot of requests over the last little while to be able to take, let's say, a code of conduct agreement that you want to send out to all suppliers. Well, batch projects allows you to upload one document and send it out to multiple individuals to be signed, and of course have the ability to track that afterwards. You can assign roles because from a security perspective, you'll want to ensure that you are not handing out accounts or access to people that shouldn't have access to certain information or the ability to read or write information. And you will be able to manage a centralized corporate address book. So as you build your list, you'll be able to define it to either a group of people or for the organization. Now, once you actually log into the business version of Consigno Cloud, you'll have a few things to configure. One is the ability to customize the visual elements. So you'll be able to not only place your logo so that it appears on emails. However, you will also be able to configure if you want the person's name to appear when it's being sent out from the municipality, and if you want the other supporting information to be shown. And of course, you can customize this to be either neutral as info at my municipality, or completely customized to that user's account so that they can actually put in their personal email and personal phone number information. And of course, this is also the area where you'll be buying your additional user accounts if ever there was a need to add more users to your Business 5 account. Once you've done that, the other main screen here is actually the My Projects view. And this here has essentially a dashboard of all the projects that you've launched. And of course, you can filter them between all of them or completed. And you also have the ability to download reports and do batch either a download or other manipulations of the different projects. And this is also the area where you would know how many people had signed, and you'd have the ability to either poke them individually, manually, or use the out-of-the-box. Our business version does automated workflows of notifications and reminders to the signers. And generally speaking, it's been very well received as far as the automation of these components, and of course the ability to create templates that allow you to not only have projects, but if you know that you always have a purchase order, for example, that has the same two signers, but it's a different purchase order, you can actually build templates that are reusable, which is another nice addition that you would have access to through your project view. Now, if you're looking at the organizational projects, this is pretty much the same view, but just to be aware that for, let's say, an administrator, that person will have visibility on all projects, personal and organization. And of course, you can assign the roles accordingly to define who has access to all of these projects and who has the ability to, again, read and write onto this document. So this is also, as I mentioned, in a similar way as the personal view, you will be able to download both the contract or the agreement, the final executed agreement, or the audit trail that supports all of the information, and we'll cover that a bit later on. Now, of course, in the user view, this is sort of our basic example to give you a sense of the types of roles. So these are the four more most common type, we'll say. So either you have an administrator, a secretary, a manager, or an editor, and each one of these roles will have the capabilities of accomplishing certain tasks, and will make it a lot easier to see, to, let's say, provide access to somebody only to download information as opposed to another person who would be an administrator. And of course, the template, this is our template view. You can customize them by project. By zone, location is actually the application of the signature area, so the box where the signing will take place. So you can actually customize it by zone or by project, meaning the entire document. And you can initiate projects straight from templates. So this makes it very fast and efficient. Now, the heart of the program or the web platform is literally this dashboard to create projects. And you have to remember that we created this about 3-4 years ago with the intent of helping organizations make this as seamless as possible to create projects. And as we provided a feature set, more and more requests were made to have other elements. So as you can imagine, we released the service, and then one of the first things that was asked of us, well, can we add multiple documents? So can I have more than one document? The answer is yes. You can have up to 8 documents in the Consigno Cloud Business 5 version, the paid version. The trial has the ability to upload 4 different documents. You can have multiple signing zones. You can have multiple signers. And of course, in most cases, you want to be able to customize some information with text. And this may be with either a PO number, maybe having to specify the city you are in when you're signing. So these are all customizable, both the information that needs to be published and the size of these zones and the location. So in this manner, we also have the ability to add an expiration date, which was another key element that we wanted to be time sensitive. We also wanted to have the order of the signatures managed. So in this particular case, I want these different individuals to be in a very specific order. So first the client, and then Bob, and then Allison would put in the contract number. And again, I can't stress this enough. The whole idea was, as we built these features, more and more came out. And I would say that today we've really got a solution that is well suited for, I would say, 95% of the use cases that a municipality may encounter. So the other elements that were added was the ability to notify people. So once this contract is fully executed, the person can receive an email to download. So your legal department could receive an example of this. And the ability also to customize the messages. So either a message for all participants, and then you can also do custom messaging here that would be specific to one person, which is another nice added value. Now, once you've actually launched the project, it's pretty straightforward to be able to send out an email to the individual. They would be able to click on a link, access the document because it's never sent as an attachment, review the information, accept and sign or refuse and notify why they're refusing. And then, of course, the end result is that it'll produce 2 documents. One is the fully executed document, in this case, a contract. The document itself is a PDF-A, so it is an archive quality PDF. It is actually signed when it is uploaded. So from a legal reliability perspective, it was extremely critical for us that anything uploaded to Consigno Cloud be secured instantly. So contrary to many other solutions out there, we actually do convert to PDF-A and secure the integrity of the file by applying a digital signature at the input. When the document is signed, each person has their own digital signature assigned to it. So in this particular example, Bob and probably Mark here has their digital signature with the information identified in the reason. So I know here that this was signed by Bob. His first factor of authentication was his email. His second factor in this case was a shared secret. It is on a cloud-based service that is in Canada exclusively, and this is the IP address that is the location of where Bob was when he actually signed the document. We also add a timestamp at the bottom, and this is important because not only do we confirm the moment of signature, but then we can also confirm off of a timestamp authority the exact time at which that took place and certify both the information of time and the individual, making this extremely legally reliable. Now, as far as the audit trail is concerned, this is where I think all the magic and the value comes in, because the audit trail itself actually includes all of the elements used to be able to create and sign this document. And this is no small measure that we actually convert to PDF-A, the audit trail. It includes everything down to even the number of the text message that was used to access the document or to sign. These are all signed, both the contract, the document, and the audit trail with an Adobe approved trust list digital signature. To put some perspective, Notarius is the only Canadian Adobe approved trust list member and one of 4 in North America. And we are proud to have that certification and to make it available to you in our cloud solution. The audit trail is also timestamped, and we've also included in the attachment over here, which I'll show in a second, is the actual files themselves. So you have the document that is signed, but the original source file over here would be in an attachment, and the final version. So for sake of discussion for your legal department, if you only save the audit trail, you will have all of the traces of that transaction. It'll be digitally signed and timestamped to be secured, and it will also include the attachments over here that would be used to be able to export the final PDF that was digitally signed. So overall, you have a complete solution that is very legally reliable and is actually used by government agencies and the likes for their purposes also. On that note, I'd like to leave you with a few next steps, but really, you can reach out to us if you have any questions. Glad to help. I would invite you to evaluate your needs for document signing, whether those are internal or external, and evaluate what type of volume or effort you think that you would have. And of course, on our website, if you go to notarius.com/business5, you can try the solution. What's nice about the test trial is that it is included with free signatures. It is the real thing. It isn't a pilot. It isn't a demo or a test. This is an actual platform that will generate legally reliable documents for you even as you try it. So hopefully you have an opportunity to test this, especially considering that we are in a situation where more and more people are looking to either sign with their cell phone, sign with an iPad, be more mobile, or be able to sign at a distance. So on that note, I want to thank you very much for your participation. We'll definitely leave it up to questions, and I believe, Nicholas, you may have a few questions.
Thanks, Mark. Yes, I do have a few questions. I just wanted to say thanks for the presentation. I know that we've come a long way since the partnership first started back in 2017, and it's good to see that Notarius has been responding to the needs and requirements that our members have been challenging with. And so I'm really glad to see that Notarius has come up with this solution that can be tailored to particularly those smaller municipalities. So this is great news for everyone. So I do have some questions. The first one I'll start into, and this is something we've heard a lot from both municipal staff and from elected officials, and I think there's some nuance involved. But what is the difference between a digital signature and an electronic signature? I know both are sometimes used interchangeably, but there is a difference.
Absolutely, and that's an excellent question. I'll back up 2 or 3 slides to be able to illustrate the point. So when you ask the question about electronic signature, for sake of discussion, an electronic signature is a visual representation of your identity. It is the image of your signature. That would be an electronic signature. It doesn't have much legal reliability, but it's what we are most accustomed to. Now, a digital signature is a small electronic file, which we see over here, which is actually used as a lock to secure the file. So a digital signature per se does not have any visual elements. And try to imagine that it's more like a sheet of glass layered on top of your PDF file. And just like a sheet of glass, you can layer multiple signatures onto a single document. And you can also redline and mark up and add commenting to it. But that would all be done above the glass, we'll say. So if ever you wanted to alter the source content, then you'd have to break that glass. It would disappear, and then you'd get back to a copy. But the whole idea is that the digital signature acts as a lock to seal the integrity of the document, and in this case, prove the identity of the individuals.
Okay, great. So if a municipality wanted to, say, get a digital signature for a particular individual or department, there is a Notarius solution for that, correct?
Absolutely. And in this particular instance, instead of saying signed by Consigno Cloud, well, that digital signature would be issued to the person, and that person would have had to verify their civic identity with us and confirm their employment with the city or with the municipality in order to be issued a digital signature for them to use on a personal level as opposed to with the platform. And of course, we didn't mention it, but all of these tools do work together. So you can use your digital signature to sign online. and you can mix and match it with digital signatures used by the cloud solution.
Great, thanks. So my next question involves multiple signatures. I know that for us at AMO, we require one of our documents, I think anywhere up to 12 signatures and beyond. Is that signing possible with this solution?
Absolutely. Just as in the example that you see in front here, we do have in this use case, 4 digital signatures that were placed onto the document, including a timestamp certificate.
Great. And I know right now that cybersecurity is top of mind of a lot of our members right now. So how does Notarius ensure that the data that is generated from using your platform is indeed secure?
Well, thank you for that question. And yes, it is a concern for everybody on a daily basis, it seems. So first of all, Notarius has been providing digital signature services now for a little over 20 years. We are a government grade digital signature certificate provider. And what we do have as far as certifications is that we are recognized by Adobe with the Adobe approved trustless. We are ISO 27001. And actually, we were the first ones in North America back in the mid 2000s to be certified ISO 27001, which is data information management certification. And we are also ISO 9001, and we are also EIDAS certified and on the Microsoft Trustless. So we've made sure that we've covered all the bases of certifications to apply only the best policies. And we are Canadian owned, and our data centers are all residing in Canada. So there is, from a government perspective, the assurance that all of the data is stored on Canadian servers and nowhere else.
So that's not just the mains, but the backup servers as well too, correct?
Correct, yes. Thank you.
Good, excellent, thank you. Next question, can a digitally signed document be modified?
So as I was mentioning in my previous example, you would be able to add comments, but these would be like extra layers on top of the signed document. It is not possible to alter the source content of a document. So in this particular example of the contract, although I may decide to put an electronic post-it note, you would visually see that that document was altered and that there were annotations that were placed onto it. So
okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks. And a final question for me, and something that I heard from going on the road last year to some municipalities that were interested in the Notarius AMO pilot project that we did back in 2018. And this is one question I got was, is a printed digitally signed document as legally reliable as the electronic version?
Yeah. So that is definitely a question we get on a regular basis. The whole idea is that the notion of an original is usually in one format or another. So if I wanted to produce a duly authenticated paper original, I would use a pen and paper to do so. And if I were to scan it, well, generally speaking, that scan is considered a copy of that paper original. The same holds true for an electronic original. And this is extremely important because in many instances, you may work with one electronic original for, let's say, official reports or engineering drawings, for example. But you may produce 10, 15 copies that are printed, but those are essentially copies. They are not originals. If you need to refer back to an original, you would want to do so in one of two fashions. Either look at the PDF to see if there's a digital signature on it, which is what we showed you previously, or in the paper version, you'd want to ensure that it is ink and that it wasn't mechanically produced by a machine and not by as opposed to a person's hand. So that is really the key difference. So no, it does not have the same legal value if a PDF, a signed PDF is printed.
No, that's a good answer. I mean, some people still can't get away from their paper, and this is supposed to be a truly paperless process. So I thank you for that answer. I just had actually one more question that just came up. In terms of the Consignment Cloud platform, how long does a project manager have to transfer a signed document from the Casino Cloud platform to their electronic records management system.
So that is a valid point, because contrary to many out there, when a document is produced with Consigno Cloud, it isn't designed to be archived in the platform. So generally speaking, that would be a maximum of 90 days that you have to download the documents once they've been completed. So I definitely invite people. Our cloud solution is designed to be encrypted, both at rest and in transit, so that only people that have access to the account can actually see the information. So we don't have access to any of the data. But on the flip side of that, since it is a signing platform and not a data storage solution, you do need to download it and bring it back to your environment afterwards.
So just to follow up from that too, would a project manager be able to set notifications in terms of, you have X amount of days before this this document is deleted?
Well, they will be notified. When the projects are coming to expiry, we'll call it, they will be notified, I believe, at something like 90% and a few days before. So there are triggers that are actually automated to remind the project manager to go download the documents. In the same way that people are, it is programmed to notify people that there are documents pending for them to sign and or download.
Okay, great. Thanks. So just one last thing for me before we wrap up. I think we're all aware that the province of Ontario has placed a priority on encouraging municipal governments to improve efficiencies and to modernize services. So I think everyone is probably aware that the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing launched its Municipal Modernization Program with a number of funding opportunities to help improve municipal service delivery. Technology to enhance and support back office functions and processes like Notarius's e-signing solutions should qualify for that funding. You may want to explore that avenue for funding if you haven't currently got it in your budget already. So given the crisis that we are currently in, the physical distancing requirements, it is absolutely vital that municipalities continue to operate as normally as they can, and that may include e-signing documents of council and administrative business for the foreseeable future. So thank you, Mark. If members are interested in Notarius's Business 5 offering and how it can help your municipality go paperless, as well as continue your operations during these challenging days of physical distancing, please reach out to Mark and his sales team. Mark's contact information is there on the screen, and he and someone from Notarius will be happy to discuss the right option that works for your municipality. So that wraps up our webinar. We will be promoting it through AMO's YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, please hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and you'll receive the latest updates on the activities of the association, as well as past AMO webinars and updates from the AMO president on the work of the board of directors. So thanks again to Mark for the presentation, and thank you for listening in today. Be well and take care.